The following night, the Angels entered the ninth trailing by 3. The first two men went out easily, and victory seemed assured for the Yanks. But a couple of base hits kept the inning alive for Don Baylor.
Now here's Baylor. He homered his last time at bat off at Gossage. Gossage will work out of the stretch. Lansford at third, Ford at second. Baylor representing the tying run. There's a drive hit deep left field. It's fair. We're tied. It is a 4-ball home run for Baylor.
Then in the bottom of the 12th, veteran Merv Ruttenman sent the fans home happy.
A bit of stirring in the Yankee bullpen. Winning run at third. Game tied 7-7. 12th inning. Pitch to Ruttenman. Swinging a fly ball. That should do it. Going back is Jackson. He can't make the catch. Scoring from third easily is Brian Downing. The Angels win.
The following afternoon, the Yankees jumped off to the lead again. Then Bobby Grich came to the plate with 2 out in the ninth, and the Angels trailing 4-3.
Guidry sets the pitch to Grich. Is a fly ball hit to right field and hit well. Jackson going back to the wall. He looks up. It's gone. Bobby Grich brings the fans to their feet as he homers over the right field wall. His 19th home run of the year, his 5th RBI of the afternoon, as the Angels sweep the Yankees in 3 straight games.
Besides Grich and Baylor, the Angels had still a third member of the 100 RBI club in 1979, Disco Dan Ford.
Killer sets and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball hit deep to right field. Going back is Summers. Grand slam, home run Ford. Pitch to Ford, swinging a high drive, hit deep to left field. Going back to the wall is Ogilvie. He looks up, gone.
Anderson at third, Carew at second. Anderson representing the tying run. Gurro will work out of the full windup. Ford stands in. Danny with 99 RBIs on the year, and the pitch by Gurro is a fly ball hit to right field. This will tie it. Anderson tagging. Cowens under the ball. Makes a catch. Here comes Anderson. The throw to third. Not in time to get Carew, and we're tied at 3.
Not only did Ford make it with his bat, he also did it in the field, like this game-saving catch late in the season against the White Sox.
Now Moore back in as LaRoche sets. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Fly ball hit down the right field line. Ford going over and back to the wall. Does he make the catch? He makes the catch! What a catch by Danny Ford. That ball was in the stand. Ford went up over the wall, down the line to make the catch.
The very heart of the Angels' success in '79 lies in that controversial trade made by Buzzy Vivasi in 1978, when the Angels obtained Brian Downing, Chris Knapp, and Dave Frost. Knapp was hurt most of 1979, but he did contribute a big win down the stretch against Texas. Frost was probably the most consistent pitcher for the Angels in winning 16 games, while Downing was nothing short of sensational. His .324 average was the second highest in club history for a single season, and all year long, he was the Angels' Mr. Clutch.
No balls, 1 strike to count. In the Angel 8th inning, they trail 4-3. Carew, the tying run at third. The go-ahead run, Baylor at second. Marshall set it to Belt. The pitch to Downing. A line drive, base hit left field. Here comes Carew. He'll score. The ball gets away from Landreau. Baylor will score as the Angels lead it by a score of 5-4.
2-1 pitch, swinging a drive, hit well to left field. Wilson going back to the track to the wall. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Brian Downing. That is Brian Downing's 12th home run of the year, and the Angels are now catapulted out to an 8-2 lead.
One of the few Angels not to enjoy a banner season was first baseman Rod Carew. Bothered by a sore hand and elbow most of the year, the 7-time American League batting champion still managed to hit .318 and drive in 44 runs. But against Seattle on August 12th, it was the Carew of old, climaxing a 4-run 9th-inning rally.
Stein again checking the signs. Right-hander winds. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep right center field. Jones a long way to go. He can't get it over his head off the wall. Here comes Downing. He will score the tying run. Here comes Miller. He scores a winning run. The Angels win it 4-3.
Although hurt most of the season himself, Joe Rudi still managed to drive in 61 runs and come through with 2 dramatic grand slams against Boston. The first one came in May to help break a 4-game losing streak. 2 months later, the Angels were at Fenway Park again, and in front of a national TV audience, Gentleman Joe, with a flair for the dramatic, did it again.
Bases filled for the Angels. 2 runs in, 1 out. Fenway Park, inning number 1. Rudi waits at the plate. Drago winds, and the 1-2 pitch to Joe. A high fly ball hit deep to left field. It is going and gone for a Rudi grand slam. That is the 12th career grand slam for Joe Rudi. He is the active American leaguer in that category, and he touched nothing but the net with that belt.
Despite many injuries, the Angels remained at or near the top for most of the season. But after a poor August, they limped into September with the slimmest of leads over Kansas City, who was charging after a bad first half. On September 11th, the Angels began their most critical road trip in the history of the team, and after dropping their first 2 games in Chicago, the lead was down to 3 games. Don Ossie came out of the bullpen to save a game in Milwaukee, but the Angels still lost 2 out of 3 to the Brewers. But as that was taking place, Kansas City was also dropping 2 out of 3 themselves to Seattle. On September 17th, the Angels took their 3-game lead into Kansas City to meet the Royals head-on in a 4-game series. The first game was a disaster for the Angels, losing 16-4, and the Royals had visions of a sweep. But just as he had done all year, Dave Frost pitched the Angels to a win in Game 2 to get their lead back up to 3. The Angels and Royals went on to split the 4-game series, and when they each won 2 of 3 over the weekend, the Angels still had their 3-game lead with 6 to play as the 2 teams met again for the final time in a 3-game series at Anaheim beginning on September 24th. The task was obvious for Kansas City. They needed a sweep. The Royals started fast in the first game, but the Angels, as they had done all year, came back to win 4-3 behind Nolan Ryan. The game was saved in the 8th inning on this double play as the Royals were threatening.
Ryan has his sign. Porter away. The pitch to Lecoq is a ground ball up the middle. Bobby Grits dives. A great play. Anderson won. Goes to double play.
The following night, Frank Tanana, who hadn't had a complete game in over 3 months and who some thought wouldn't pitch again all year, took the mound against rookie Craig Chamberlain. Downing and Harlow drove in key runs as the Angels took a 4-1 lead to the 9th inning. And suddenly, the Angels, who had suffered through 19 years of frustration, were just 1 pitch away from their first championship.
The Angels 1 out away from their first championship ever. Porter at the plate. He waits. The pitch from Frank. Swinging a ground ball, hit to Carew. He bobbles it, recovers, throws to Tanana. In time! The 19-year wait is over. They've done it. The Angels are the champions of the West.
As the fans celebrated and danced around, the chairman of the board, Gene Autry, reflected on his first title.
I think that this is one of the great thrills that I ever had. Of course, the opening game, I guess, that I played was just about as happy because Bob Reynolds and I went back to Baltimore and we played Baltimore first. And I'll never forget that. Jimmy Fregosi and the coaches and the players, they did one great job because you knew yourself when you lose 2 pitchers like Tanana and Nolan Ryan for half the season and then Knapp, and you lose fellows like Carew and a lot of those fellows. Why, you have to have some good substitutes, and they did a great job to bring us around.
Manager Jim Fregosi, who had to juggle his lineup all year because of injuries, had nothing but praise for his players.
We've been ready for it for an awfully long time around here, and I'm just thrilled to death to be part of it. These players have been absolutely fantastic all season. They've gone out under really some tough situations, some tough conditions. They've battled all year long, and I just couldn't be prouder of them.
Don Baylor, whose 139 RBIs was a major factor in the Angels' success story, said,
I've seen Kansas City come back too many times. They were defending champions 3 years in a row, and I was a little skeptical myself. I said, just keep holding them, Frank, and That's fine, Nolan. I love every minute of it.
Bobby Grich, who enjoyed pennant-winning years with Baltimore, was asked to compare those memories with the joy of winning in Anaheim.
This is by far more thrilling and more exciting. I've always been an Angel fan since I was about 15 or 16 years old when I moved out here. This is my dream as a player for this ball club, and it's come true, and my family's been able to enjoy it too, as well as my close friends, so all those things combined makes this much more sweeter.
Third baseman Carney Lansford, who enjoyed another fine season, was also very excited.
I've been waiting for this day a long time. Let me tell you, the last couple of weeks have been long ones for me, but fortunately everybody else came through, you know, and that's exactly what we needed. The money players came through when we needed them, and our pitching was excellent. I love it. I just hope we can keep it up a couple more games.
But if the players were happy, what about the long-suffering fans?
I am up. All my friends are up. We are all great California Angel fans, and we are just ecstatic. We have never seen such enthusiasm, the fairness of the crowd, and just the general. Oh, it's just like the team is so inspired.
I don't think I could ever leave them. I don't think I could have left them if they didn't win this. They hadn't won the division this year, but I'm crazy about them.
I'm happy for Gene Autry, and I want to say that Jimmy Fregosi should be Manager of the Year, Don Baylor MVP, and Bobby Grich Golden Glove. 19 years, we finally made it.
Exactly, because you could really never envision it, and now it's here, man. It's just dynamite. It's heaven, you know.
Over 2.5 million fans poured into Anaheim Stadium in 1979, and many of those loyal followers had been waiting a long time to see the Angels win their first championship. They remembered when it all began on that cold and windy day in Baltimore in 1961, when Bob Kelly and Don Wells broadcast their very first game.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure indeed to bring in my broadcasting colleague on all the Angel broadcasts and telecasts this year, a fellow who returns to his native California after distinguishing himself as a broadcaster for the White Sox for the last 8 seasons. Don Wells, and Don, on behalf of all of us, lots of good luck to you.
Well, the same to you, Cal, and to Steve, and let's get things underway in a successful way today here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore as Eddie Yost steps in against the Baltimore right-hander Milt Pappas. The weather picture today, it's a partly cloudy day. We have a terrific wind blowing in from the left field corner toward right to wind up the first pitch of the season, and it's a strike right down the middle.
Well, that was the beginning, but the fans knew that it would take time to build a winner and put the pieces together. And they were patient as the Angels kept searching for the right combination and chemistry. And finally, after 19 years of mistakes and misfortune, it all came together a few minutes past 10 p.m. on September 25th, 1979.
For 19 years, the Angel faithful have waited for a day like this. Now it's up to Darrell Porter, and the man who has sat and looked for 19 years in hopes that someday that he would see his ball club be the Western Division title holder, Gene Autry, has to be a man that is awfully proud as Porter sends it to Carew. This ship through it, he knocks it down. He goes to Tanana. It's tied. It's over. The Angels win. Greg Tanana mobbed by his teammates. Carew, his teammates making their way to the dugout as the Angels, for the first time in 19 years, win the Western Division title of the American League.